This has confused a lot of people. What, on the one hand, is he saying here? And what is the question here? How can the day and the hour of Jesus' coming be both known and unknown at the same time? I mean, he just got done saying that there will be 1,290 days, the last 3.5 years of the 7-year tribulation, where quite literally all hell breaks loose. But then he goes right on to say, almost seemingly contradicting himself, saying, but yet no man knows the day or the hour. Well, which is it? He just told us that we can know the day down to the day. And now he's telling us that we can't know the day. We not only cannot know the day, we cannot know the hour. Well, the answer is quite frankly and quite simply that he is describing two different events. One is the rapture, and one is the second coming. And 7 years separates the rapture of the church, where the saints, those born again of the Spirit of God, are caught up and taken to heaven, and then the world will go through this 7-year period, again called the 7-year tribulation. Because see, he's talking about in the context of the rapture that it will be unknown and unexpected. But in the context of the second coming, he's saying that it will be 1,290 days after the abomination that causes desolation. In the context of the rapture, it catches people off guard. It's business as usual. Whereas in the second coming, there's worldwide cataclysmic events, such as Jesus said in Matthew 24, had never been seen in the world before, nor would ever be seen in the world ever again. Well, again, the answer is both. And that explains really the contrast in the circumstances surrounding these two different descriptions that Jesus gives us, because they are two separate events. If at any time anyone takes the rapture and puts it anywhere but at the beginning and before the 7-year tribulation, not only do they err, but then they take Matthew chapter 24 and they twist it into what I like to call a prophetic pretzel. Let me go again on record and say this. The rapture of the church of Jesus Christ will take place before the 7-year tribulation. Then, at the end of the 7-year tribulation is the second coming of Jesus Christ. At the rapture, Jesus comes for us. At the second coming, he comes with us. The purpose of the 7-year tribulation is not for the church. The purpose of the 7-year tribulation is for the salvation of the Jewish nation. There was like 4 of you that were with me on that. The purpose of the tribulation is for the salvation of the Jewish nation. So the 7-year tribulation separates these two events. The rapture and the second coming are like bookends on the 7-year tribulation. So now, Jesus is describing events surrounding the rapture of the church. And he likens it unto the days of Noah. This is absolutely fascinating. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but some Bible scholars have estimated that the population of the earth in Noah's day was approximately 6 billion to 9 billion people. In October of 1999, the current population of planet Earth reached approximately 6 billion people. Now, you can go online. There are these world population clocks that you can actually see about 3 people per second being added to the world's population. Here we are in the year 2006, and the last time I checked it, it came in at approximately 6.7 billion people. So as in the days of Noah, the population of planet Earth would be approximately the same. And currently, It is. This is a chart, actually, world population since the creation and before the flood in the days of Noah, and what it is today, and it is like it was in the days of Noah. Also, another really interesting fact, and this is fact, and by the way, let me parenthetically say, again, never take my word for it. And when you're communicating with other people about what we study in God's Word on Sunday mornings here at church, never say to them, well, this is true or this is fact because my pastor said so. No. I encourage you to be a Berean, do your research. You can go online, Google search all of this that I'm sharing with you today, and find the documentation that documents these as facts. Hale-Bopp comet. How many of you remember about 10 years ago, 1997, Hale-Bopp comet came closest to planet Earth? Well, some astronomers have carefully calculated the comet's orbit and have determined that it last entered our solar system approximately 4,200 years ago, right at the time and in the days of Noah and the flood. Another source, Astronomy Magazine, in February of 1997, according to traditional sources, a new star appeared in the sky 4,100 years ago. That was the year the world was destroyed by a flood in the time of Noah. By the way, all world religions acknowledge a global flood. Did you know that? Are you aware of that? Every world religion and all of the planet has the marks of a global flood. Noah's flood is not in any dispute. It is a fact. Well, this star, apparently a comet, traveled through all the constellations in a month's time. It was an omen for the people in the world to reconsider their wicked lifestyles and practices. Interestingly, NASA reports that Hale-Bopp last appeared about 4,200 years ago. And if you go back biblically and chronologically, you can find that the last time this comet came as close to planet Earth was right before the world was destroyed by a flood in the days of Noah. You know what I like about God's Word, church? God says it, and that settles it. God says what's going to happen before it happens, so when it happens, we will know that He is God. Let's look more closely at some more comparisons to what Jesus said it would be like. Not only would the population be the same as it was in the days of Noah, but in Genesis 6:5 it says people were engaged in the cares and the affairs of this life, and they were more concerned with eating and drinking and being happy. They were going about business as usual. And that's much like it is today. People are engaged in all sorts of activities, caught up in the cares and the affairs of this life. Let's be honest. Subsequent to September 11th of 2001, I mean, it's been, what, 5 years now? And it is business as usual. Now, in the days of Noah, according to Genesis 6:2, there was demonic and very sexually aberrant behavior, and it was the norm of that day. It would be safe to say that in the days of Noah, they called evil good, and they called good evil. Well, in the year 2006, homosexual marriage and sexual aberrance are fast becoming the norm in our day. They're calling evil good, and they're calling good evil. In Noah's day, it says in Genesis 6:5 that man's wickedness had become so vast, and that the inclination of the thoughts of the heart of man was only always evil continually. In other words, they would use their imagination to manufacture the most horrific and unthinkable evil known to man. And much like it is today, man's wickedness is on a global scale so vast is the evil of this generation. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure it out.